All right, you guys, here's the video for 3.11 daily practice. I want you to actually pause the video and start the investigation because I think it's pretty cool and I want to hear what your story is. So hopefully you wrote a story to go along with this tape diagram. Basically, any story you wrote that has three groups. The reason we have three is because we have 1, 2, 3. So you could have like 3 friends going to the movies or 3 people splitting up candy, really anything you wanted. But then in those groups, you need each person or each group has 2 of something and there's something else being split up. And then the total has to be 24. So as long as you have those things in your story, you're good to go. Now the equation you should have written looks like the one I just made. Again, we have our 3 groups. There's an A and a 2 in each group. That's why we have our parentheses. So to solve, we can think about dividing this 24 among the 3 groups. That leaves us with each group has 8 things. And then they all started with 2. Then our missing piece is going to be 6. So make sure you got that work. We can always check it just to be sure. If we have 6 in each of these A boxes, 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. We're good to go. So now we're going to see how a story can relate to a tape diagram. So we have Tyler's making invitations to the fair. He has already made some of the invitations, and he wants to finish the rest of them within a week. That's going to be important. Let's underline that. He is trying to spread out the remaining work to make the same number of invitations each day. Tyler draws the diagram to represent the situation. So we're going to think about how each part of the situation is represented in Tyler's diagram. So the total invitations he's trying to make is 122. We see that on top. It's going across the whole box because it's all of the invitations. He's already made 66. We see that in the box because it's representing his progress that he's made. And then how many days he has left. So if we look here with the X's, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 X's. So we have 7 days. This is in the box like our coefficient or the number of boxes with X. Or with our variable. So if we were going to use this to write an equation, we could write 7x, again because there are 7 boxes, plus 66 equals 122. This one does not need parentheses because if we look back at our tape diagram, we have x's all by themselves. There are 7 of them. That's why we have 7x. 66, again, all by itself, only in one box. So it needs to be all alone. It's a constant, constantly lonely. So when we go to solve, we can first imagine, say, well, let's get rid of this 66 because he's already done those. You can get rid of that 66 with subtraction. Goes away. But again, look at your tape diagram. We still have 7x. And we have to actually subtract over here. Gotta borrow. 12 minus 6 is 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. And then we're saying, okay, 56 are left for these 7 days. So if we split up those days with the 56 invitations, we can see that he needs 8 per day. He needs to make 8 each day. All right, you guys. So this lesson really is all about using the tape diagrams to help make your equation so that you can solve the problem. So thinking about that, I just want you guys to remember you can always draw a tape diagram. If you prefer the hangers, you can always draw a hanger. But just those things by itself is not enough, you guys. If a problem says write an equation, you have to actually write an equation. An equation is the part that looks like this or like this. It's your math language version of what you're doing. So use those or whichever one you did, to write an equation. Remember, an equation always needs a variable, an equal sign, something on both sides. It's balanced. When we go to solve an equation, we're going to solve with our favorite inverse operations. And again, you guys use those tape diagrams, use those hangers if you need help. You can actually go ahead and start your practice. Please send your teacher an email if you are confused. Good luck.